Hi, I want to take this time to thank you for taking your time to listen to us.
We're on TV, man.
What?
We're talking about listen.
I'm talking.
You gotta see us.
They gotta listen to see.
You doing radio talk, man. We on TV, man.
Hey!
All this.
Thank you. You are now watching the most talked about TV show in your city. I'm LB Johnson.
And I am Buck Dangerous.
And this is Shut Up and Talk TV.
TV.
I want y'all to know something. Usually when I do stuff like what I just did, it's because we was having a whole nother conversation and they said action and I wasn't ready.
Yeah, I thought you was still yipped up off Halloween candy, right?
Right, pretty much, man. I just had a Jolly Rancher. Had to pop me a Jolly Rancher on the break.
Yeah.
But anyways, Buck, how you feeling, bro?
Feeling good, bro. Another day.
Yes,
Another
sir.
day.
How's everything going with you?
Hey, it's going great, man. I'm here. We still here. We still on TV.
Bro, look, they ain't cut us off. Thank you, ProView. One more day. Y'all don't understand. The last couple of weeks got a little rough, you know.
Yeah,
but we made it, man. We made it through the.
I want to say something so bad, but go ahead, bro.
Thank you for giving us one more chance.
What are we talking about today, man?
I just seen this article, bro. You know, the last show we were talking about Kanye.
Yeah.
And Cardi B just came out, like literally this just dropped like 20 minutes ago. Cardi B just made a statement about Kanye, and basically she's just saying, I want to quote her. I don't want to say.
Yeah.
So basically just said, she said, he found God and people are saying he fell off. It's like, why are people mad at him trying to do better or be better in his own life?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I feel that. Like, yeah. When he was talking all that retarded stuff, and even when he came out, when he said George Bush didn't like black folks, it was like, he off his meds, he tripping. Mm-hmm. Now he just talking about he loved Jesus and
ain't nothing wrong with it.
Hey,
I just hope it's genuine.
Yeah.
Don't pimp out the Lord, man. I just feel like don't do that. Don't do that. So we'll see, man. That was a big. We put the live on. Everybody was talking about it.
Yeah,
so,
man.
We'll leave Kanye for another day, man. Cardi, I don't know why they quoting Cardi. It ain't like she got something profound to say. I didn't want to say Kanye. Like, who cares? It's Cardi. Who gives a damn?
Hey,
why are we quoting Cardi B, bro? Is the world this bad that we? I'm mad because LB said, I don't want to mess up Cardi's quote.
I want to quote her.
It ain't have but 2 lines on there. I didn't want to say Kanye.
I want to make sure I got it correct, man.
LB thought she had some profound
I really
speech.
did, though.
LB said, he put his finger on the screen. It's like,
I did. I hit the button so it could blow up so I could see actually what she said.
She ain't say a damn thing, man.
I thought it was going to be more prolific, y'all. I messed that all up.
L didn't know how to say, he didn't know how to say none of that.
Trying, bro. Hey, first time, look, you foul for even doing that. But anyways, yeah, end of the day, man, it's funny because Rhythm and Flow.
Right.
We love the show.
Yeah.
But actually, we're going to be talking about that the next show.
Right.
But on that show, a lot of people are saying, why was she a judge? Like, why did they pick her out of all people? Like, what did she, what did she have to be able to say who's good or who's not?
Star power. Star power. She was actually someone that they molded into an artist. You gotta understand, she wasn't a rapper. She got off the pole. They molded her into an artist.
The sad reality is, I know a lot of parents and grandparents are upset because they told their kids, their daughters for years, you ain't never make a living being a stripper.
Hey,
and Cardi showed literally, she came off the pole.
Into the booth.
Look, man, and curted her way to the top. I said curted her.
No, but the reason why she's on the show is because you got to understand, they took people who were not artists, and they can mold them into a star. And that's what they did.
She did win a Grammy.
You got to give her her props.
Yeah, got to give her props, man. So shout out
but
to
just
Cardi,
don't quote her.
Look. Anyways, but we got a great show today, man.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about something that what's been going on. We've been, we've done a couple shows talking about police brutality and about different things that are going on in the community. Every time we hear about another, whether somebody being shot, or anytime, and that we always have to do a story. We always have to talk about it. But this one hits close to home for 2 reasons. One, because it's literally happened 3 hours from us in Farmington, New Mexico. A little girl was what it looks like. Only way I can say is attacked, to me. At first glance, when I see the video, it looks like she was attacked by an officer, and then when you read why, it says all because she stole or took too many milks out of the cafeteria.
Man, if that's the case, man, I should have been gone. I should have been gone.
Man, look, I used to take them just to...
Is this it right here?
Yeah, this is the actual thing.
Okay. Wow.
And I want to be clear, the one thing that you don't see is right prior to this, the officer had already pushed her out of the cafeteria. And that's the principal. The principal's actually walking with her I guess we're asking her to get back to milk. She was refusing.
Do they got Hennessy in the milk or something?
Bro,
What's
really?
going on? Like,
it must have been chocolate milk, bro. You know, like, remember when you was in elementary, you got juice when they got chocolate milk day.
There was only a quarter, man. What's going on? Wow. Okay.
But so she gets ready to leave, and then he asked her to come back, get the milk. She says she wouldn't. She's trying to leave. In a minute, you'll see. So she leaves. She's out of the school. To me, that should have been in. The police officer comes and grabs her backpack. And so she is struggling with the officer. She didn't want to give up the backpack. This one just looks bad, bro.
It is not look bad. That is horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible, man.
So that,
first of all,
like now it's, and I want to remind everybody, regardless how big she looks, she's only 11 years old.
It's a girl, man. First of all, the cop needs to hit the weight room.
Yeah,
he's struggling, bro.
He's struggling bad. He's struggling real bad.
It's not even to laugh at, but I'm like, the 11-year-old handling him, man.
And it literally, all she's doing is saying, leave me alone, get off me. Mind you, as you see, her backpack's not even on her no more. So if that's what he was going for, he already got that.
Yeah. Wow.
And even the principal at one point, the principal actually said to the police officer, it's okay, she's not, hurting anybody.
Nah, man, all of them are accountable, man. The principal should have stopped that. The cop had no reason to go that far. So what are we doing for the rest of the show?
Here's what I want to do. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll actually have a police officer live in the studio, and I want to
wait. The police officer?
The popo.
No, wait. The one in the
not the police officer.
I was going to get it cracking, bro. What you talking about?
But we'll have Albuquerque Sheriff will be live in the studio.
Oh.
And what I want to do is because a lot of times when we see these videos, we always quick to say what the police did wrong. I want him to let us know what is protocol.
Right.
What did the police do that was within his rights?
Right.
And where did he go wrong, if at all?
Okay.
We'll take a break. When we come back, more Shut Up and Talk TV.
DJ L Style. Don't give out my real name.
The bulldog, from bulldog and the bow hogging. I'm from players ball and the bulldog, from bulldog and the bow hogging. I'm from players ball and the bulldog, from bulldog and the bow, from bulldog and the bow hogging. I'm bow hogging, a pimp walking, and strictly dressed street talking. Over y'all ass like that, dad. When them balled up like cat hair, we never fall off like hat. Where some of the dopest MCs out there. Now eat that. I'm casting Ricky D. Can you beat that? Remember the time I laid them.
St. Clair Winery and Bistro has been renamed in honor of our founders, the Lascombe family. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro continues to deliver the same exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect since 2005. Visit us today, D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am. Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Dream Style Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dream Style Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dream Style Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Tighten it, all them haters want to dick. Tighten bought a Cadillac. Throw some D's on that. Just bought a Cadillac. Throw some D's on that. Just bought a Cadillac. Rich boy slick, just bought a Cadillac. Throw some D's on that. Just bought a Cadillac. Throw some D's on that bitch. Just bought a Cadillac. Rich boy selling it.
What was that? Hey, y'all, we back. I just want to let you know this portion of the show is brought to you by T.O., the Inspired Ones Poetic Essence Volume 4, now available everywhere. Also, Arrow's Independent Studio Volume 4, not 4, but 4, to be released soon on all major streaming platforms.
Hey, we have a lot of fun in this show, y'all. Behind the scenes, y'all just don't even get it. But right now, live in the studio, man, we have former Lieutenant Sergeant. I knew I was going to
messed it up, bro.
Former Sergeant John Allen of the Sheriffs Department, correct?
Correct.
Now, and when we say former, literally, you just retired, what, like a couple weeks ago?
2 weeks ago. Feels good, man.
Yeah, we had to get you off the books to bring you on. We don't need you running no names or nothing, bro.
So, make sure we got warrants. So we asked Officer John to be here because with this story coming out, and you know, we've seen so many of these stories over the last couple of years and things like this, but this one in particular is because I wanted to make sure that we clarify as far as what is within a police officer's protocol or what within his right, I guess, as far as when it comes to a situation like this. Now, from what we see before we're not going to play it yet, but what you're going to see is the girl's walking away from, I believe, the cafeteria. She has a backpack on. They're alleging that she stole some milks, and I guess in her backpack. So you see the principal and a police officer following her, and then it kind of, to me, just goes all bad. Right. So what I want you to do is, as they play it again, just kind of walk us through and let us know what he's doing correct, if anything, and what he's doing wrong, if anything. So this is actually the video of the 11-year-old girl out in Farmington, New Mexico. At this time, the principal's just basically talking to her. He's asking her to come back. And I think the girl's basically saying she doesn't want to come back. She finally does walk in briefly. Whatever he says, she feels like she don't want to be there.
Right, she's trying to go out the door.
Now, the officer's doing good right now because he's letting the principal talk to her for now until he starts making his approach. It looks like what he feels like is he's seeing a battery which did not occur. So in order for any type of use of force, you got to be there lawfully.
Yeah.
So a battery did not occur. His perception might be different. I don't want to bash this officer.
Yeah.
Monday morning quarterback, but
I will.
His perception is different. It thinks that a crime happened. It did not occur. And what you guys are seeing right here, this is not what is taught for any type of defensive tactics, use of force. This is an 11-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And this puts a black eye in the law enforcement community. You got to be able to de-escalate. You have to be able to speak. You have to give things time. Anytime you see stuff with excessive use of force, anger and frustration every time.
Wow. And I mean, he really seems to be like struggling with this girl. And I think even to the point where the principal, I think, felt a little uncomfortable because then he starts basically saying, hey, I think it's okay now. You could tell he's basically trying to let the officer know, like, leave her alone. It's okay to get off of her. And he continues to struggle with her.
And this is a time right here, even if you're embarrassed or you know you did something wrong, the principal's talking to you. There's not anything going on as far as a crime. She's not attacking you. She's not even really actively resisting. You need to step away and probably speak a little bit more instead of using force, especially on an 11-year-old girl.
And that's what I was going to ask you, and Buck, I'll let you get your say your statement. But because to me, even what I know as far as de-escalation is like the minute she was on the ground, you know, she's not a threat. Step back a little bit, show her, you know, give her a little bit of her own space, so to speak. And then, you know, but he didn't do that. He continued to stay in her face, to kind of stay on her. And Buck, what were you going to say?
Well, as you could, you know, in the video, the principal is actually telling the officer, hey, she's not a threat to herself or to you right now, so, you know, ease up. What I want to know is, because I got to shake your hand, first of all, because usually we always tackle these issues without the police officer's perspective of what's been taught. So I want to know, if something like this happens, you know, you're on the force and you see this, is this a point in time that you actually are able to go to the officer, or would you have gone to him and say, hey, you was out of line?
Absolutely, because you have to be responsible and call things that are wrong. Because at the same time, not only in this specific situation, is this happening around the whole department? Do we need to address training? Are things consistent? Are people confused? I know this gentleman here was an SRO. Sometimes in every department is different around the country and the state of New Mexico.
What is an SRO?
SRO is basically a school resource officer. So he's always at the school. He's always dealing with the students. He should have rapport and a relationship with the students or know who some of the behavioral students
and
are.
just to clarify, but a school resource officer is still a police officer.
Yeah.
They're not like no different. They went to the same training, same academy. So he should have known how to deal with that situation a little.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So the thing that, I'm just going back to my question that I have, because, we hear this all the time in the community, all the time. Okay, this happens, but what are the cops who are good cops and who are following training, do they hold these guys accountable? A lot of times the perception is no, because what happens is you have the chief or whatever comes out and says, we're investigating, nothing happens. Yeah. Just like with this one, I don't know if something else is going to happen. It was an apology. If that's my kid, no, that's not going to cut it.
Suffice, no.
That's not going to cut it. No. So I want to know, if you're his superior, how would you handle that situation?
That situation, you got to address it. Like I said before, does it go back to training? But specifically to him, you have to tell him to take a step back. What he did right there is excessive. It's an 11-year-old girl. No reason to begin in the first place for him to put hands on her. Take a step back.
Is this a grounds of losing his job?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
that's what I was getting at.
And I'll get into that because you got to look at it in use of force. Totality of the circumstances, was it fair from the beginning to the end?
Yeah. Right.
And as you guys can see on the video, it's not fair from the beginning to the end. That's an 11-year-old girl who can't comprehend some things. You have an officer, I don't know how long he's been on there, but take a step back, talk to the principal. I'm pretty sure this incident led up to something that's been going on from before, probably for a week or two. But when you get into the incident to where he's using force, you can obviously see in the video where most use of force and excessive force claims come from. Anger and frustration from us.
And I do want to point out, and I literally just looked this up, he did actually just resign. He resigned, I believe, yesterday from the force. And I've watched enough cop movies. They probably gave him an option. Hey, either you're going to get fired or, so he did resign. But there's still, like you said, the parents. If you see your child, even as a father, if that was my daughter or even my son, at 11 years old, like I'm losing my mind.
Especially when you don't handle your child like that yourself. So.
And it goes into something, a little bigger. At the end of the day, this was over some milks. Like there's other situations that are a lot different, but literally it was over some milk.
Milk does a body good, but damn.
Look, sadly, she was trying to have the milk do her body good, and it looked like it didn't do his body good at all.
Yeah.
Because he was struggling. I'm sorry. But let's do this. John, if you can stay with us.
Yes.
We want to take a break. When we come back, I got some other questions about some legal things, if you will, that you might be able to help us with. We'll take a break. We'll shut up and talk after this.
I'm still not a player, but you still a hater. Still not a player, but you still a hater. Elevator to the not a player, but you still a hater. Elevator to the top high. See you later, I'm gone. Penthouse suite, penthouse freaks, in-house beach, French couch seats, 10,000 piece, rent out lease with an option to buy. Copping a 5 of Benz for when I'm not. Up in the sky, off in the lie. With my twincito up in the Benzito with my lie. With my twincito up in the Benzito with my Kiko from Queens. My twincito up in the damn.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Local Union 412. Find a career with benefits, not just a job, at UA Local 412 Training Center. We are looking for plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC tech apprentices and journeymen. Call 505-256-9257. Local Union 412.
Hey everyone, Adam Deal here with ProView Networks. Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean. Stop living with summer heat. Get a super efficient AC systems from Sunshine Plumbing and Heating and eliminate all worry for a full 10 years. Now that's a bold guarantee. Call now and get your free system design consultation and learn more about how our bold guarantee can help eliminate your worry for a full 10 years. Comfort you can afford. Call Sunshine Plumbing today, 296-3188.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
This is why they're broken, you're so bad. Baby, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. Guess it's why they're broken.
Tim's for my hooligan. We are back. This portion of the show is being brought to you by T.O. The Inspired One's Poetic Essence Volume 4, now available everywhere, every platform, and Arrows Independent Studio Volume 4 to be released soon on all major streaming platforms.
I have a question for the officer.
Yes.
Who killed Biggie, man?
We're still trying to find out. We know. We're still trying to find out.
I know y'all got a memo floating around. Who killed Biggie, bro? We got Tupac. Who killed Biggie?
So we wanted to definitely take advantage of having you on the show, John. Mm-hmm. And one of the other things that just came out in Albuquerque newspaper or whatever, and even on the news, is that they're bringing back the party patrols. They just got the budget or whatever to bring back party patrols. For you guys that don't know, that is not a party that travels all throughout Albuquerque.
I was going to say, why didn't I get this memo?
Look, but it's actually the exact opposite. I guess it's something they did in the 90s where APD, basically they go to parties. They go to underage parties. Mm-hmm. And if they get calls about underage parties, they go to these parties and basically try to, squash them, right. Make sure they're underage drinking and things like that.
Well, I think that's a good thing because we've had a few shootings.
Yes,
and, some kids have lost their lives and been injured. So that's a good thing.
And I believe that was what they used to kind of get to get it to come back or whatever. But John, I know one of the things that I seen that people commented, the bad side, I guess, of these party patrols is, and this kind of goes hand in hand with what we just seen with the excessive force on the little girl, is police showing up at these parties. You have these kids, some sadly that might have been drinking or whatever. And what about, is there a worry that police officers might, be a little excessive or I guess, for lack of a better way to say it, just do too much. At these parties because of the kids. Yeah.
I mean, there's always going to be that worry, but I'll go back to some pretty much bottom line. Mm-hmm. And we talked about people being shot at parties, younger age people being murdered. As a homicide sergeant when I was with the Sheriffs Department, I actually did one of those homicides within the last year. And there's nothing more heartbreaking than telling their family, hey, they were underage, they were drinking, they were doing things they shouldn't have been. There was nothing to stop them or to deter them from what they were doing wrong other than what they've learned in their childhood or through parenting. But they shouldn't have lost their life. What can we do to prevent that? Anything we can do to prevent it and do it correctly. And there was mistakes made with Party Patrol, and I know they're trying to correct it. I don't work for APD, but I think it's a good idea because we do have to stop some of that violence because it's going on all over the city every weekend.
Right, and it's involving people that are so young. That's the part that just breaks it up because we partied as children, and the thing is, it's different nowadays. Yeah. Children are more advanced. They have more opportunities to get a hold of drugs, guns, and alcohol way more than we did. And when you have all that three in the mix and the combustion, we do need the police to do the patrolling of these parties.
I do want to point out that one of the good things about this party patrol that they mentioned is if kids are found to be underage drinking and things, instead of just arresting them or giving them a ticket for underage drinking or public intoxication, they will be referring them to a program.
Right. Oh, okay.
To try to help. So it doesn't end up on the record, but to also deter them from continue to do it or whatever. So I think that is a big plus about it. But for you, just being a police officer and thinking about this, is it, if you were one of those police officers, you were part of the patrol, is this something you look forward to, as far as, going to these underage parties, or do you think, that it'd be something like, I don't want that duty? Like,
probably different. I'm an old school guy. So, I mean, I like speaking to people and talking to people before I do anything first. But I think those are going to be future leaders of our community. They're going to be within our community, whether good, bad, or indifferent. It's also our obligation and our duty to start helping raising them right, whether they're doing it at home or not. Anything to prevent and deter them from doing a crime or messing up their future. Because when you're young, you don't know what's going to happen here in 6 or 7 years. You don't care. It's what's cool at the moment.
Right.
But if we're there, I would love to do that because I think that you can be an example for some of those kids.
I have another part of this that we haven't really touched on. What about the parents? What their roles in all of this? As the party patrol comes to a home, if the parents are there and they're the source of everything, are they the ones that are getting arrested? Do they get cited? Is there any type of citations or?
It depends. I think again, and I keep going back to the term of bottom line, is somebody's got to be held accountable. So in order to do that, you have to deter parents. We can go back into parenting. That's a whole nother conversation. But you have to either cite them, get them in court. Because what are you teaching the children as they're starting to grow up? Because they're just replacing that.
Yeah, the thing now is everybody wants to be a cool parent. I want to, I want my kid to be the popular kid, the cool kid. So I'm going to allow them to do this, that, and the other. So hopefully, the party patrols, I think they should hold these parents more accountable.
Absolutely.
So in Albuquerque, we see a lot, we hear about a lot about kids, getting in trouble, getting in violence, even like we talked earlier about shootings. At one point, they were talking about this gang. I don't even remember what the name of the gang was.
Get Hard.
Get Hard
Remember
crew,
that? Yeah.
And they were talking about the Get Hard crew, and all these kids, coming together, just doing all these negative, stealing cars and things like that. For you, when you mentioned, you're old school, what do you think? Just being a resident of New Mexico, what would you want to see, or what would, if money was an option, what would you want to see in the city to detour some of these gangs and some of this violence that we don't have now?
Programs. I'm not just talking after-school programs, something for events for people to go to. I think back we were talking earlier, I graduated West Mesa High School in 1993.
Okay.
Dance is a teen thing.
Yay.
I always look forward to going to something like that. It deterred a lot of people. People would do something after it gets out, but that would keep them accountable with law enforcement there, parenting, adults, gives them something, an activity to look forward to and to hang out and socialize. And nowadays, people being on their phones and they can't even hold a conversation. Maybe they can actually talk to somebody or pick up a lady and dance with her.
There you go. Pick up a lady and dance with her.
Hey.
Two-step.
Something.
Two-step. Oh. John, so you just retired 2 weeks ago, man. What's next for you?
What's next for me is I'm going to be instructing at CNN, so I'll be helping law enforcement still. I've been doing that my whole career. That's something I love to do is teach. And then eventually, my goal and my thing is to run for Bernalillo County Sheriff on the next election in 2022.
Come and say what?
Run for Bernalillo County Sheriff.
Running for the sheriff, 2020?
22, that'll be the primary.
22, okay.
Absolutely.
Y'all heard it here first, man. Exclusive, John Allen for sheriff.
Absolutely.
Bernalillo County.
Hey.
Please remember my name.
Hey, please remember us.
Look,
absolutely, man.
Remember me when you pull me over.
Hey, on that note, hey, John, thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate you so much, man. Hey, same time, same place, different topics, man. We out of here.
When it come to rockin' parties, I am a nympho. Party diplomatic dopers but info. When it come to rockin' parties, I am a nympho. Come parties, I am a nympho. Maniac, brainiac for nympho. Maniac, brainiac for doing my dancing. My record make the music. We'll put you in a trance and inside your body and like it with my cardigan. You won't be inside your body and like it with my cardigan. You won't be fighting the ill and you just